I don't see a need to take it off of him anytime soon. And I think that's another way to grow him and to really establish him on the main roster too. As crazy as that may sound, but the main event, and I know you're pressed for time, so I will.
You're good. Nope, don't worry about time. We're good.
So, of course, this was another one of those matches where it wasn't the match itself that you're going into. Kind of like, of course, you were expecting it to be a decent match, but you were watching for one thing. And this is a thing I was kind of referencing earlier. I would have tweaked. I don't think they should have mentioned or even given any type of inclination that there's a possibility Roman would be returning on SummerSlam. I don't think Solo should have mentioned him at all. I think they should have just obviously like have him be the elephant in the room, but you never mention his name. You never give any type of leaning towards one direction that he's going to be there. I think because obviously the people were so excited for him, but the whole match, you're just sitting there like, all right, when's Roman coming out? Like, when is the interference starting so Roman can come out? I was kind of thinking they were going to, and I think this is probably what I would have done differently as well. Cody shouldn't have needed Roman's help to win. Yes, it's Bloodline Rules, but Cody agreed to that. Cody accepted that. Cody knew what that meant going into it. Cody should have had his backup on deck, which he did with having Randy Orton and Kevin Owens there. I did like the little added notion with having Arn Anderson in the background, or not in the background, but backstage before Cody made his way to the front. And I like too that we got to see Pharaoh. Pharaoh, that was his last walk. Pharaoh is Cody Rhodes' dog. If you know Cody's story, he's been traveling with him for years. Dog. Beautiful. I have one of the stuffed animals of him.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. But again, it's CM Punk and Cody Rhodes have a lot of similarities, but if you know anything about Cody, he's kind of like Punk in that respect, that Cody loves his dog type shit. So it was nice that WWE let him bring him out, and I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, please don't bring him out to the actual arena, because he did that once in AEW for a pay-per-view and brought him to like on stage. And I think I'm pretty certain that the pyro went out and Pharaoh was just not having it. He was terrified. So I'm happy we all learned our lesson from that, and he just brought him pretty much right near the curtains before, obviously.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he walked out by himself.
He brings him out and just attacks Solo.
Dude, yeah,
what's going on here?
It's fucking great.
I had no audio at the party. I was like, what's going on here? Is he gonna bring out his dog? That'd be sick.
Yeah. But of course, and again, the story of this match was the return of Roman Reigns, and first of all, I am not a fan of their shirt. I don't know who they have that designs their shirts, but the majority of them suck. And this one is no different. Every time I see OTC, I think over the counter. So I just, it's driving me nuts.
I was watching it with Bree before. So last night, sorry, I have to cut you off at this because last night I didn't realize I was at this time. Roman came out. I'm hammered at the party.
Yeah.
Like, I think I untied my hair. I was like acting as Roman Reigns, just showing off for people.
Yeah.
I rewatched it today and I stared at OTC for, I swear, a good 60 to 90 seconds. And I go, Bree, OTC. I was like, I can't get over the counter out of my head.
Thank you.
And I worked in pharmaceutical sales. So like, that's all I think of. And I'm like, what is it? I'm like, I'm like, oh wait, official.
I was thinking one tribal chief because Solo was saying he's this. So I was thinking one tribal chief, and then when someone said
if it takes you that long, it should not be a shirt. Is what I'm trying to say.
I felt dumb. I was like, oh, like this took me way longer than it should have. Like, no shit.
If you put something like that, OTC, put in small letters, official tribal.
Yeah,
good enough. I stared at that shirt. I literally paused it, and I was like, trying to figure this out. I'm not that dumb. I know I'm hungover, but I should figure this out. And it took me a good minute or two. I'm glad you brought that up because that was tripping me out.
Yeah, bro. I was just like, I can't stand this. So this is a little collage. Yeah, right in the top corner. It's just like, this is a synopsis of his return. Which whoever put this little edit together, shout out to them. But yeah, I mean, the match was what it was. It was what you were expecting up until this point. There was a scary moment where not a scary moment, that's dramatic. There was a moment where Jacob Fatu hit a splash from the top rope onto the announce table, smacked his leg, heard mixed reports that he was supposed to act injured, and that was the excuse for him to not go in there and fight off Roman against Solo. So that would make sense. There was a photo floating around that he was in a walking boot afterwards. So again, that could just be them preparing for that and playing up the story. Exactly. But and if it is, I love that little sense of detail as well. But man, I think, and here's a better picture of our OTC. I fucking hate the shirt, bro.
It doesn't even look good. Like the letters OTC don't even.
If I wear that out in public, people would be like, "Why are you so proud of over-the-counter drugs? Like, and why are you bleeding? No one, like, it's not working." Yeah, so it's like I don't know.
They gotta scrap that. Bad idea.
They gotta do something. Will
that's
say,
a negative. Hey, we have a negative about WWE today.
Between that and their the people that they use, I think their name is like Def Rebel or some shit. I don't know them like outside of wrestling. The people who create their entrance music, fucking terrible.
Role model.
It all sounds the same. But the reaction Roman got, of course, was just unreal. It's still I being in the Philly audience and hearing the Philly fans chant "Thank you, Roman," and "We want Roman." That is when I knew the Monday night after WrestleMania. I was like, okay, he's a good guy. For Philly to want Roman and to love Roman, the same crowd that in 2015 when he won the Royal Rumble shit on him so bad, The Rock was like, "What the fuck is happening?" For that same fan base to pretty much do a complete 180. That's the beauty of wrestling. And I don't think this was Vince's long-term vision. But say what you want, Vince is the guy who pulled the trigger on the Roman Reigns heel turn when he returned.
Yep.
I think 2020, and I think it was actually SummerSlam in 2020 when he returned and just demolished the Fiend, and that's what started his epic run, which is crazy to think about. So yeah, I was never the biggest Roman fan. Kind of in the same realm as John Cena, like fucking get it, like you're the guy, like okay. But yeah, man, I think with Roman coming back, I like too that they didn't have Jimmy and Jay return to help Cody because that leaves them up in limbo as well. I think that's obviously
something. Yep.
Possibly for SummerSlam, you have the original. Hopefully, they come up with a different fucking shirt by then. The original Bloodline, Roman, the Usos, and then you have Solo's Bloodline. You have Solo, Jimmy, Tonga, and Tama, and then you have Jacob Fatu. So I think that's. I mean, no, I know, but it's no surprise that that's where they're going long term. It's just a matter of when and if. But I could see, depending on how much Roman is going to actually wrestle, I could see possibly Roman versus Solo at Bad Blood. Obviously, it would kind of fall in line with that, but I don't know if that's too soon or too.
No, I think that's perfect.
PLE, because that's
in a stadium, by the way. That's in a stadium. They have to sell it out
in Atlanta.
It's not an arena. It's Atlanta. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, let me check real quick because I have it pulled up.
Okay.
Yeah. No, never mind. It's in it's in the basketball arena. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought it was the football stadium. Sorry.
No, you're good. But I mean, either way, like they still. That's why I'm like, I don't know if they would really push to have Roman like return for his first one-on-one match back at just a Bad Blood pay-per-view or PLE. I don't know if you want to hold that to not even have his first match back be a one-on-one match, have it be like a multi-man, like an elimination style match at Survivor Series, or you can have the Bloodline Civil War where they go back in War Games. You could do that.
Wow,
here's the picture.
Bloodline Civil War. Bring it back.
Man.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
There's the picture of Jacob after the show in the walking boot.
By the way, for what I've experienced as a basketball fan, if this is a shoot injury, walking boots are more to make sure that no further damage is done. So like, I think the misnomer about walking boots was if somebody's injured, like, oh, he's going to be out for like 2-3 months. He's done for the season or something. Walking boots actually are now more implemented in injuries to like prevent anything or to stabilize moving forward. So it's more like, hey, let's put in a boot so it recovers faster and better. So because back in the day, whenever somebody got hurt and got in a walking boot in the NBA, it would be like, oh, he's done for the year.
He's
it's
done.
like,
yeah.
But it usually now it's like I've seen guys in walking boots and like 2 weeks later they're back on the court. So, but as a work, if this is a work, holy shit, what? Like you talk about details and things making sense. If we think what they're gonna do is what it is,
dude,
I don't want to celebrate too early, but this is brilliant.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Dude, yeah. Again, I'm right there with you. And if not, and dude really is hurt, it's a fucking bummer. And it
didn't even look like an injury though.
It didn't look that bad. And when I read that when it kind of it was that was supposed to happen because it was to excuse him from not going after Roman, I was like, oh, that makes total sense. You know, it makes total sense. Because why else wouldn't he? Like he's literally the enforcer for Solo. So if he's there to protect Solo, he would absolutely go after Roman. So and that would neutralize Roman. So yeah, I will say though, like I don't think I ever got back to one of my points, but I don't like that they had Roman come out to help Cody. And it wasn't directly to help,
not to help Cody.
Yeah, but I still would have preferred that the match be over with. Cody pick up the 1, 2, 3. Cody's getting beat down after the match by the Bloodline. He's getting you can still have Jacob Fatu injured, but you can have Tama and Toa come in there and just fucking like hammering him and maybe hitting him in the back with a chair, whatever. Then Roman's music plays. They're like, what the fuck? It takes him a year to come down because it's like 50 yards away, the entrance from where the arena or the ring is. It's just insane, like how long their entrance aisle was. But which is standard with each stadium, but it's just like, golly, it's just so far away. But
all right. Yeah. Trying to cut you off. It's got to be a work. I'm rewatching it right now. And all right, this is getting way nerdy. The first time he acknowledges his injury, and I've watched bad injuries as a sport fan. I've been devastated by injuries as a Nets fan. So like I studied these things. He immediately touches his shin area, then his ankle, and then he like tries to sell it more, and then touches his knee again, and then he's in a walking boot. So if we want, if try to ruin, whatever for everybody, but he touched a lot of areas that were inconsistent.
If you break your ankle, you're going immediately for your ankle. You're not touching your knee, your shin.
And you also don't move as much as he did. Yeah. And if we're having this conversation about like, is it a work or a shoot? Let's have it. Let's be honest. When someone gets injured and you tear something or break something, you do not squirm around. You like Aaron Rodgers. I know you like Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When he tore his Achilles, what happened? He immediately fell to the floor, didn't do anything,
Oh, I'm going to pull it up here really quick.
He just grabbed it and it's like, yep, just pulled something. I'm done. Watch.
Bring it up
I just rewatch it just so we can have it live in time. Like I said, we're not trying to ruin, but we're trying to figure out it's a work or shoot. Watch. So he grabs his knee, shin, ankle.
He moves down,
Ready? Watch. And then moves around. So I get it. Your adrenaline.
And he just braced off of it too. He braced off of it a couple times.
Look, right there. Hold his knee. Kind of looks weird.
Yeah, he's doing a lot.
He's doing a lot. Like I'm telling you, not speaking from my self-injury, but like when you get hurt, I think shock happens a lot when you get hurt where, oh my God, I just broke my ankle. Oh shit.
A lot of like when they tear their Achilles, it's like almost like they got shot. It's like
they say that's exactly what they say.
Like, oh my, like you're almost like what is it? And then it kind of sinks in.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, if it's a work, he did a great job selling that. Oh my God. Give him an Emmy.
Right.
If it's a shoot and he really is hurt, unfortunate. Hopefully it's something that's weeks, not months. But I think personally, Jacob Fatu is another guy they're going to develop does Roman Reigns need Solo Sikoa to be on his side? Or does Jacob Fatu need to be on Roman Reigns' side? I think Solo needs Jacob Fatu more.
Oh, yeah.
To bring him up, because let's be honest, Solo and Jacob Fatu, Jacob's been in for what, 45 days, and he's already a bigger star than Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Solo needs him to big him up. So that's my kind of thinking long term. It's like, do you put somebody that's already kind of over in Jacob Fatu on somebody that is the most over with Roman and create a power couple, power tag, or power whatever? They could do that easily to elevate and make this. Or do you spread out the wealth a little bit? My question to you, what do you think?
I think I think they realized pretty quickly what they have in Jacob compared to Solo. And again, Solo is good, but Jacob is a notch above. And I think that if Jacob wasn't involved, Solo would be more of a prime player. But it's I think it's going to be tough because the focus is originally going to be on Roman and Solo, because Solo was the one that was pretty much shit talking Roman and was the one who took over his spot, like he's the tribal chief, all that shit. So, and it wasn't Jacob who was claiming himself as the new tribal chief.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But I think that long term, like in the future, I feel like Jacob can be one of the pieces where it's like they're both fighting over him. And like at first he's stuck with Solo because that's the guy who brought him in, that's his ride or die. And why would I go against Solo? But I think over time it's going to be a situation where it was like Roman and Solo, where Roman was like, Solo, handle my like pretty much handle my light work type shit. And I think eventually Jacob Fatu is going to get tired of being the fall guy, essentially, and be the one being the heavy and doing all the heavy lifting and being like the call guy for Solo. And I think that could probably spark some dissension in between their version of the bloodline, and then they'll go from there.
Did you watch SmackDown?
Not all of it.
Did you watch the main event when they won the belts?
Yeah.
That transition,
him holding the titles.
No, that transition of Jacob Fatu super kick into the Samoan drop into the back. Bro.
Yeah.
I'm turning 35 next month. In my 35 years, 20 of them watching wrestling since I was younger, maybe add that up to 15, 8, whatever. I've never seen a transition of 4 consecutive moves, flawless, powerful, and athletically gifted in my entire life.
And the speed,
it was a super kick,
the transition,
super kick, bounce back off the ropes, Samoan drop, somersault into it was a DDT. Like, it was insane, flawless, bro. Like, a video game couldn't execute that as well as Jacob did. It's insane. Like, 4 moves in a row. Boom, boom, boom. All believable, all in sync, powerful, athletic. I'm so happy to be a wrestling fan right now. It's insane. Because I have I'm like, Roman's my guy. Then I got Cody, who's also my guy, but like not as much as Roman. Then I got Jacob Fatu, who's like up and coming as my other guy. Then I got Braun Breaker. It's just like so much entertainment. They got to spread they got to spread this wealth out so we could get and I know they're going to do it, the best quality matches, Raw, SmackDown, all that. It's unbelievable. As my SummerSlam just ended. Sorry to just fanboy real quick about that, but that was, I watched that transition 3 times in a row. I had it DVR'd and I watched it back like 3 times because I couldn't believe how smooth it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's all I have to say about SummerSlam, that main event. That was, we got a lot of things moving. I'm excited. I'm very excited about where we're going. Hopefully we could do couple more podcasts as the year goes on because things are
seconds or whatever.
Like,
but
that's good. Bro,
dude, yeah,
come on,
what?
Come on.
And he's a big dude. Like, he's not some tiny little guy.
He's
like,
lost weight. He's lost
size.
weight in a good way. He's put on muscle. He's lost weight. Man, I don't buy t-shirts. The next time I see a Jacob Fatu shirt that I like with the Samoan wolf, his entrance is awesome. Yeah. His entrance with the hoof. Dude, like I'm a super fan. I'm a mark, as they say, for some Jacob Fatu.
Me too, man. We'll wrap it up here just with a fun little fact. I'm the nerd for the business side. And this was I don't know if I can pull it back up here, but the power of Roman Reigns. Pull it up here, yeah. So read this. It says Roman Reigns generated $800,000 in revenue for WWE within 2 hours of his return at SummerSlam 2024. Soon after Roman made his return, WWE announced a new custom title for him. So pretty much, long story short, they made one of those legacy type titles for him to commemorate his whatever 1,000 long reign it was. It says WWE had 1,316 belts made, with one costing $600. All of them were sold out within 1 hour. It's just fucking insane. So within 2 hours of him returning, pretty much in 1 hour, he made WWE 800 grand.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. What a stud.
Yeah.
By the way, thank God he got his nose done, because it just made him a better looking. Yeah, teeth. Bro, I'll always say it. I tell Brie all the time. If you got money, meaning millions, get your teeth done.
Yeah.
Always. If you're on television and your teeth are, maybe you're self-confident, whatever it is, get it done. Because guess what? It probably costs 20 grand, whatever. Small amount of money.
Yeah.
It'll make you look so much more presentable. And he got his nose done because his nose was like probably either busted or whatever.
And his jawline, it just made his face more defined. The jawline,
exactly.
Look at this shit, bro.
Look at that specimen of a human.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Beautiful man.
Sorry, I'm sounding all type of crazy now.
Oh
yeah, I love the Bloodline. I love what they're doing. I was questioning what they were doing with the Bloodline. Like, look at this Bloodline 2.0, this wannabe Bloodline. But Triple H knew Roman's coming back. Now you're gonna have this mashup, whatever, and obviously what will come out of it is Jacob will come out the star, and then that's when we'll keep it moving. So you got the Usos coming back, or maybe they link back up, or just Jimmy, and then you can kind of go. You got obviously what's his name that's coming up that I think Brie met him at Royal Rumble at a bar randomly. The other Fatu, the younger one,
there's
with
Zilla,
yeah. So I think Brie met him at a bar. She's like, yeah, I just talked to somebody that's like cousins with like so-and-so. I was like, you just met Zilla? Like, I was just like, where is he? And it was funny because they were out in the parking lot causing, it was like 3 a.m. after Royal Rumble, causing a ruckus. But yeah, you got Zilla, you got the other guy coming back from he was in AEW for a little bit too, the taller one.
Oh, Hikuleo.
Yeah. So you got those two. So that adds to maybe they don't even mess with Jay. They keep Jay on the doing his own thing and just have a couple others join Roman.
Yeah. I think they're going to get Jay back involved, though. I think him being out and him not showing up and doing anything for Cody, I think kind of was telling. I think they're holding him for a reason.
Another little piece, Jay, when does he win another belt? If we're future booking, where it's like, now you got him so like an LA Knight where he's so over his entrance, his saying, I'll be honest, he's not the best in the ring. In the ring, not the best, but he has everything else. That doesn't matter. When does he win a belt? What belt can he win? Does he go after the LA Knight? Does he, does LA Knight turn heel? Like, you know what I mean?
I was expecting him to pick up the IC title at some point, but now with Breaker picking it up, I don't. And if they keep Breaker a good guy, I don't see that. Or if they make him a good guy, rather. And not that I would even want Breaker to lose the title anytime soon either. So it's just one of those things where like they have so many talented performers and so many people that could be a champion. It's like they're in such a good spot. I feel like they haven't been in this spot, like in this good of a spot in probably since maybe like like maybe early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s, where you had like, if your 3 top guys go out, you have 3 guys ready to go type thing. So I don't know. I'm just,
I said it before. Everything, the fact that we could have a conversation and you could name a wrestler and be like, they could go this, they could do this. We've never been able to do that before. It's always like, it seems like they're constantly mixing storylines together, kind of like slowly or like low key. And then there's so much that can be done. And obviously they're in a position where they're getting fed billions of dollars. Netflix.
Yeah.
From now Peacock ends probably in a year or two. I think they signed a 5-year deal.
I think it was,
they signed in 2020, 2021. Yeah. So that's probably up soon.
I hope
they're probably going to get another billion or whatever. So you're selling so much where more is more for WWE, and they're doing it quality, not they're slowing it down. They're not saying, hey, we don't have to do this all in 1 year. We got years of this. John Cena next year, all year.
Yeah.
A full calendar year of John Cena. And I'm not saying he's going to put on the best matches, but it's going to just be fun to watch who he could link up with. As I could see Austin. Why do I forget names?
Austin Theory?
Austin. You could rekindle that, big him up. Like there's a couple guys in the mid card that John Cena for maybe a month or two could big them up and get them over, which they tried to do last year, but John Cena wasn't around too much. So there's a couple guys in the mid card that I hope that John Cena puts over, a couple guys that are in the mid card that he could put over. And then obviously at the end of it, put on like a Randy Orton and then have that final match. So that'd be cool to see. I'm very excited.
For old time's sake, whatever in me, I'd love to see another Randy Orton match for one time. You know, even though they had like literally probably like 400 matches in 1 year, I'd love to see that just for old time's sake. And then him and Punk, man, I think him and Punk would have a nice throwback.
Even if it's like a mutual respect thing, it doesn't have to be like I hate you and I hate your mother. I'm glad your dog is dead. It doesn't have to be like super personal. It could just be like, hey, I'm back and I want you. And it could be like mutually, I want you too. And it similar to like the Edge and Randy Orton thing that they did during COVID.
It was the greatest match ever of all time, right? Vince match, the best match of all time.
Dude, that is such a Vince thing to do. The greatest match ever. It's like, what? That is, that's like saying this Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, before the game's played, it's going to be the best Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
How? How do you know? Yeah.
How do you know? Yeah. How do you know? You are supposed to know, but how do you know?
How do you know? Right. But yes, dude. My dog is right here.
2 hours.
Yes. So sorry to keep you so late, but I figured as we talk, you know, we tend to be long-winded, both of us. Wrestling is just one of those things, man. It's easy to get lost in the sauce and talk about it. But
yes,
I will let you go because I know you have other things and other shows to be watching. But one more time, just plug your show and where they can find you at and follow you at.
Yeah. Enter the Lab of Escobar, Fort Sama. Find us on YouTube. We'll be sharing. Follow us on all social media platforms. Anything you post, tag us in so I can repost it for this episode. And appreciate having you on, having me on. Yeah. I'm used to doing the opposite. Right. Thanks for being on. Thank you for having me on because hopefully we could do, if we don't do anything between, hopefully we have you on Survivor Series and then maybe we do something like that same week. We have you on and then you have me back on Survivor Series. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, it would. But yeah, and where can they, did you mention your Twitter handle? Your specific Twitter handle?
Yeah, I think it's Enter the Lab _ Instagram, Enter the Lab. Everything. Enter the Lab. Cool. Pretty boom right there.
Pretty straightforward. Nice. Well, thank you again, dude. I appreciate you so much. I will let you go. Enjoy your show tonight, and we'll be talking, man. We'll have a lot to follow up on. But until next time, my friend, stay safe and enjoy them shows, man. We'll talk next time. Have a good night.
Appreciate you. Peace.